whatever it is they make internally.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that some agencies of government, and you remember my colleague in the Finance Committee, Jibri Abdul-Mumini, had harped on this severally, that there are non-revenue disclosures of certain agencies. And you remember sometimes last year, he took on a lot of agencies. And I remember that so much money was recovered for the federal government for some of these agencies, because they weren't bringing out or coming out or forthcoming with the revenues that were supposed to go to the consolidated revenue account. And of course, when he started to blow the whistle, a lot of them started coming out and at least dropping. But we shouldn't wait until that happens. And that exactly still goes back to the system that we operate. We should begin to strengthen institutions and not individuals that occupy those offices. And it is only when we do that, regardless of names and faces, that we'll be getting it right. Because whether it's Mr. X that is in a particular office, it does not make it stronger than how it should be, than it should be if it's occupied by Mr. Z. So we should get this thing very, very clear. Strengthen the institutions instead of the individuals that are operating in such offices. And that's the only way we can bequeath worthy legacies for the upcoming generation.
Just to confirm, at the risk of repetition, I need you to just confirm that you're confirming to us that you never saw the request for 2 bulletproof cars to be purchased at the cost of 225 million naira.
No. That's what I made very, Mape, if you remember, that's what I said clearly. I said there was this request, first and foremost, while we were considering the budget, security and armored vehicles. It was brought in black and white. At the level of the committee, as responsible citizens and the oath we took to protect the interests of the Nigerian people, we said, no, we can't touch this. You need to take this back, and that if it is this, we can't approve. And they took it back.
So they did bring it
and they brought,
at some point. They brought
yeah,
it to
they took
you.
it back. Hello?
Hello? They brought it to you. You did see such a request.
They took that back. We refused. We turned that down.
Okay, but would you say, because some think that this is a failure of the House of Reps Committee's oversight function?
No, I fail to agree with you on that respect, because each time some of these things happen, I think we should even be commended in the first place in rejecting that. Because when it came, we said, no, we won't accept this. Secondly, we now said they brought it as utility vehicles. We say you can't give us in black and white what vehicles you want to buy with Nigerians people's money, and they itemize those vehicles. If you look at the Appropriation Act, it's there. The number of vehicles, the prices, and that. And we said, okay, an organization cannot operate without operational vehicles. An armored car is not an operational vehicle. A security car is not an operational vehicle. The operational vehicles are Hiluxes, Corolla, this and that. It's there in black and white. So if you look at our Appropriation Act, it's public knowledge. Everybody where wants to see it will see it. So, and at the level of the House, don't forget that oversight is a continuous thing, and that the year has not rounded off. So if you are concluding that the House is not up to its responsibility, then I don't think that would be fair enough. But that the truth, indeed, is that it was brought, and we said no, we rejected it. We said go and represent. They brought a bulk figure, we said no, itemize. And they brought the items, and we said, okay, this time around you can approve this.
Okay, all right, because I mean, some were a little bit confused. You know, when you said you should be commended, but yes, you did admit that it's a failure of...
No, I said we should at least, that we could take our microscopic eyes to say, no, this thing, we can't touch it. Okay. Because if, for instance, we had approved that armored vehicles be bought, these stories will not come in. It would have been that the Parliament has sanctioned this, in quote, illegality. It will be that the Parliament has sanctioned, but in our own responsibility was that for us to see it line by line, and that we were able to see it as a this is not acceptable to us, take it back, and of course we won't take it. They said, okay, there's need for operational vehicles. Okay, you brought the operational vehicles. Okay, itemize. Tell us what you want to use these monies for. You can't give us blockheads. And they did.
Mr. Zachary.
And that was what we approved.
Mr. Zachary.
So there are two different items.
Here's the people will say we'll still quarrel with the House of Representatives. You cannot talk about commendation when you have admitted failure in a very, very critical part of your assignment. I mean, if you're talking about oversight, this shouldn't have been...
Okay, can I ask what the failure is now?
I didn't hear you.
No, can I ask what the failure, because I've explained, I told you exactly what the issues are.
I very much understand that, but we also know that the instrument of oversight is one of the most powerful instruments of the legislature. So for you to now say that you failed in that, admit that you failed in that particular respect, and still expect commendation for having ego.
No, what I'm saying is that I said commendation in the sense that we saw this thing and rejected it in the first place, and that what we're doing was to visit this thing with so much interest, and that is exactly why I'm saying that. Okay, yes, the power of oversight is there. We are oversighted, and as I tell you, we have gone out on oversight, and that we're just at the level of collecting results. It's a continuous thing. But oversight itself too is not a thing you have to do every other week. No, you do it sparingly in the quarter. You begin to look at it from time to time, and that the year has not rounded off. So, and that if it has rounded off and this issue has not been discovered, then you will now say, oh, the House had failed in this responsibility.
When was the last oversight function conducted in the Ministry of Aviation?
Yep.
When did you carry out your last oversight assignment in the Ministry of Aviation?
The last oversight function was in the last exercise that we had, because don't forget that we were on that oversight when the associated crash happened, and I know that the committee members had to even divert.
So if I catch you right, you're saying that you carried out your last oversight this month?
Yeah, we were doing our oversight. You know, a continuous thing. It's not a thing that you say you had completed all oversight. No, it's a continuous thing. And you see, it is not NCAA that is the only agency under Aviation Ministry. You have FAN, you have NAMA, you have NIMET, and several others. So what we do is that we begin to look at the books one by one. And that oversight is not a thing that if somebody says he bought XYZ thing, we a number of times say we want to see those items. We want to visit the site of capital projects. So for us, the power oversight we're using very effectively. And as times go by, you would begin to appreciate some of these things that I'm talking about. But I'm telling you that we haven't in that respect failed. And that if I may tell you, part of what is coming out to a very large extent, the house, it is part of our digging that brought out some of this.
The thing is, I mean, if this happened under the watch of the Aviation Committee, under the oversight function being carried out, and there's nothing wrong in admitting that there's some sort of failure there, and it needs to be improved upon how these things happen. And as a matter of fact,
obviously, I must say that Chamberlain, yes, you cannot have a perfect situation anywhere. I must admit that, but I won't say that there was negligence. There wasn't negligence, but of course there is so much room, at least for improvement, as we carry on with our oversight function. Yeah, but I exactly know it is what you want me to say is admittance that we didn't do our oversight right, but and that exactly won't be fair on your part to us.
It's not what I want you to say. We're just putting out questions out there that people want to get answers to. So it's beyond us, really. It's about the people out there. But
I agree with you that there is still so much room for improvement. Not only in the aviation industry, every other aspect of our lives as individuals in Nigeria. For instance, you know how much the Parliament, for instance, had always gone on matching words with even agencies of government regarding capital projects implementation and the budget performance over time.
You know, the argument here now, because I'm trying to see how we can actually nip this in the bud and get to the bottom of it. If the NCA finally comes and say operational vehicle also includes the armored vehicles,